Another consequence I see of OpenAI is, let's go back to music for a second. So let's say you're a rapper in the early 2000s, right? The way you get put on is you need a demo tape or a demo CD for people listening, this little circular thing with music on it. You need to create a demo of 7, 8 tracks, put your best foot forward. It's a portfolio essentially, and you send it to these record labels, right? And you hope somebody hears your demo, likes it, and puts you on. They decide to sign you, right? I don't know if I'm sure you remember, but getting signed back in the day was like a really big deal. If you're a musician, you want to be able to say like, yo, I'm signed to such and such. That's like the validation statement. Like, I'm signed. I'm a signed artist, right?
Like you made it.
You made it, right? You need to find some way to get your music to somebody with power on the other side of the gate. With social media, with SoundCloud, with YouTube, all that has changed. People don't care about a demo anymore because you don't need a record label to get put on. Like Russ and all these other rappers that are independent, I think Lil Yachty. Yeah, all of them are just getting put on themselves. And back in the day, an A&R's job is to find talent and then develop them, coach them to become a great artist, maybe give them vocal lessons, give them a mentor, have them hang out with, the top producers, get them recording studio time, right? That was the record label's job back in the day, to take a diamond in the rough and polish it, and then throw it for sale and recoup all the money they invested, right? The model, though, now has shifted to, that is too uncertain, because out of 10 artists, maybe 9 flop, and they just don't do well. So now we want validation. We want proof that you're good. And the proof these days is a following. If you're a rapper and you got 20,000 SoundCloud plays a day, we want to sign you. We don't want to do work and take risks on anybody. Something you're doing as an artist is already working because you already have a fan base. We don't want to develop your fan base from scratch. We only want to work with people that already have a following on Instagram or SoundCloud or whatever, right? So that was the biggest shift in like the rap or the music industry in general. If you want to be a model or an actor, these agencies now, they want somebody with a following already. They don't want to like take a blind chance on you, right? Like a nobody just with a dream. No, they don't want to take that chance. They want to take somebody who's already doing something that works and just help them go from 10 to 100 or from 100 to 200, the next level. An interesting thing I was thinking about with OpenAI, to tie that back to AI, and DALL-E, presumably, anything it generates could have license that is owned by OpenAI, meaning whatever you create with DALL-E is not yours. One play that they could do that would give them a tremendous advantage in like Hollywood and Netflix and any type of media business would be they let the world use DALL-E. And naturally, let's say some kid in Canada creates a shark turtle hybrid and becomes a meme and it becomes extremely popular. It just catches on popular culture, right? People start resharing it to Reddit, Twitter, they give it a name, and it becomes this character. Well, they own the copyrights to it now. They already know it works because it's one of the most popular memes in the past 6 months. And they can go to Netflix or Disney and say, hey, we have this character that already has a fan base. We'll sell you the rights to it. There's no need for you to come up with your own artist, like, oh, let's invent a new super. No, we already got one. They've named them, right? That is a huge, huge play that they could do, I think.
Play with the ownership rights, retain it, the creative ownership rights.
Yeah, they take the risk of finding interesting media. From the bottom up, the community will themselves find something they like. Because back in the day, man, even with rappers, it was top down. Now it's bottom up. What's the difference? Well, top down is Interscope Records signs a white kid from Detroit, throws him in the studio with Dre, and they hope the world receives him well and he does well financially. They don't have to hope anymore. They find somebody with 30,000 followers on SoundCloud. They know he's already got something going, and they just kind of feed the flames, right, to hype him up even more. So that risk is no longer there. They don't have to take it. So OpenAI can do the exact same thing. So it's almost like a talent scout agency. They can scout intellectual property that's already loaded, that's already got something going, it's got some momentum. That's why you have 17 Spider-Man movies, because they know for a fact Spider-Man has a fan base. You can't go wrong, right? Get the best talent to develop, Spider-Man the 13th. Who knows, maybe the next superhero might be a creation of DALL-E that just went viral online. They identified it, pulled the rights, went to Disney and said, hey, we turn this to a movie.
Yeah, it's really democratizing creativity in a way. It's crazy. And it's allowing, I think, people that are not like Disney, on the opposite end of the spectrum, to have a voice to say, hey, I have this character, that I've created. Even though OpenAI would still own the rights to it, it's giving them a voice in a way. Who created this, really? It was this kid. Or
But it could exploit them.
easily.
What good is a voice when you do all the work and they get all the millions?
You're not known that you were the actual creator, right? You may never get known that you were the creator.
It's not about being known, it's about being paid. So that's definitely a possibility that I see, is OpenAI somehow becoming one of the largest IP holders by generating just, all types of media that's theirs. But I mean, the next step is like if they come up with video and some kid creates the next hit, Rick and Morty, the next South Park with DALL-E tech, and it goes up, they might own it by default.